Light was spilling from a side door, and Sam feared an irate security guard was about to run out. He imagined the news headlines: "Drunken man caught trespassing after relieving himself in museum grounds." But then he saw a large bundle spilling over the threshold, and the light was now hovering above it, like a glowing dragonfly. Sam went back to the damp tree and peered out from behind it. A man stepped over the bundle, out onto the steps. He was thin, very tall, and his limbs looked too long to be normal. His grace was reminiscent of a harvest spider's delicate movement. He was dressed in what looked like a black morning suit, something not unlike what Sam had been wearing that night behind the marquee. Crouching, the man's long legs folded beneath him as the dragonfly whizzed about over the bundle. He lifted it, and Sam realized there must be someone else still inside the museum, lifting the other end. The man took a step backwards, revealing more of the load, and Sam shivered. He'd seen enough films to recognize a body wrapped in cloth, and, from the way the man was moving, it looked heavy enough too. The bundled person wasn't moving, a dead weight. "Oh, bollocks," Sam muttered, not wanting to witness any more. But he couldn't resist watching as the second person emerged, carrying the feet of the deceased. He was an exact copy of the first, same thin and impossibly long limbs, same clothes, same struggle to carry the body. "Don't forget the steps, brother." "Will you keep still?" The first hissed at the dragonfly, and it hovered over the steps, casting enough light for them to navigate their way out of the museum, as if it had understood. There was no car on the drive, and Sam could see the main gates were shut. They were turning towards the trees, and he understood, all too late, why the side gate had been open. If he ran for the gate now, they'd see him, so he held his breath, stopped peering around the trunk, and sucked his belly in, hoping they'd be so busy worrying about the body, they'd go past his tree without noticing him. "This is rather demeaning," one of them moaned. "We hadn't anticipated." "Shh! Concentrate on where we're going. The Arbiters are going to realize they've been distracted more quickly than we'd like." "Couldn't one of the slaves have dealt with this? It's beneath us." "Of course they couldn't. Stop moaning." "Oh!" A tiny, high-pitched voice interrupted their bickering. They were only a few meters away. Sam worried they could hear his heart banging. He hadn't seen a third person. Had they just come out of the museum? "What is it?" one of the men asked. "I can smell a mundane. Very close. Ew! A man, and he smells horrid." The voice was childlike, and so quiet. Sam closed his eyes, feeling a rush of self-loathing for putting himself in the path of murderers just because he needed a piss. The black turned to pink as a light was shone on his face. The sixth beer wanted to make a sudden reappearance. He opened his eyes, squinting, and saw the light coming from what he'd thought was a dragonfly. He'd been so very wrong. "He's here," the tiny thing said. Sam wondered if something had been dropped in that last beer. He couldn't remember trying anything at university that could cause flashbacks, even though this felt like it was turning into one hell of a trip. "What's the arse are you?" he slurred. "Tinkerbell?" It looked like a tiny man, but prettier than any he'd ever seen, wearing a tunic made of dusky pink petals. Its eyes were large, blue, its hair blonde and wispy. It glowed in the darkness, and it was pointing at him. He heard the body being dumped, and the two men were there faster than he thought possible. They looked like identical twins, but up close they seemed less human. Their faces were long, inky